Hello, this is Uthris, and we are back in Planet Coaster today, continuing work on our wonderful kind of pirate paradise, at least on this level. We will be changing theme eventually, but until then, we're going to be building these structures kind of for a little while. Right here, we're going to be working on, there's this little overhang here, and I'm going to put facades on both ends to kind of basically make a grand entryway into this underground area that'll eventually have some shops and some food and things like that. So continuing with our kind of stone foundations for things, plaster upper stories, and we're just basically building this thing into the hillside and making it a nice kind of tight fit. Now, this episode is going to progress rather quickly as this is about 3 hours of footage sped up. A lot of things were worked on, and so we're going to be touching on a lot of different items. Though nothing really, if you think about it, nothing really spectacular got finished. I mean, we finished a couple of structures, but beyond that, it felt like I didn't get much done. So we have a tower here, and I'm going to be trying a new theme with it for the roof. I was watching Silverat, and he was inspired through someone else whom I forget his name, but you can always go through his channel to find out, to give the proper credit. And using these wooden signs as roofing, you can kind of color the roof a little bit more reddish to give it a little bit more of a wooden plank feel rather than just this blue. The blue can look a little bit tiresome and repetitive after a while if we're not doing a modern theme or anything like that. So this tower, pretty standard stone tower, square most up the base, and then it kind of rounds up near the top. We're gonna do the same trick over here actually that we did on the tower and give this thing a wooden roofing as well, as that's really, in my opinion, it's a good color shift from the left and right side to do something like that. We're also going to be working on laying out the plaza here, and we're going to give this the ride here a bit of a kind of more of a squiggly abstract hue rather than our normal kind of back and forth that we have been doing so far. And we're going to be working on the roads. The roads right now are still a little bit of a pain to deal with, but I think that's an alpha problem. You'll see I'm trying to make green areas for flower beds, but the way it auto snaps together, it's making it pretty tough. We're going to use a low-lying wall to surround this place, and then eventually this is actually going to be kind of the main facade for the queue here, and it's going to be kind of surrounded in gardens and things, and I might end up doing some more of this work off camera to try and fill in some areas, as you know, nothing really major there is getting done. Now we're just going to go ahead and lay out some more foundation. This is going to help plan out the rest of the park, at least in this area. So I'm just going to lay down the shapes of these buildings. These buildings aren't being built this episode. I'm just trying to get spacing right in how we want it to look. We're going to go ahead and copy the facade on the other side over and try and get that attached to the tunnel as well as possible. A little bit of a splash of greenery. I went ahead and added some more dock works near the ravine, and we're going to be adding details to those as well. A shop was added out behind the tavern just so people can go and maybe buy some hats or something. There are some tables back there as well now, which you probably won't get to see until the very end, past the speed build section here. Now this is going to be kind of a restaurant area, and it's my theme for that is I'm trying to make some sort of maybe a Spanish villa or something like that, something a little bit more higher end, maybe in terms of the town and things. This is maybe the mayor's house or governor's house or something like that, using a low-lying wall and then the roof tiles to make a nice railing in between the two structures, as they have the an exterior kind of walkway in between the two sides. You got some drink, some restrooms in there as well, so people can actually go inside the building. Again, I really enjoy making my objects like enterable, so people actually go inside and disappear from sight. It really makes, in my opinion, the building a little bit more believable than just having this facade. Not all of them are going to be like that. A lot of them are facades, but most of the time you're going to be seeing a lot of my people go in and out of buildings. So the connecting hallway there, you'll notice behind a lot of our structures is this white box, and that's because it being a restaurant or part of the park, we're going to be throwing in those modern elements kind of behind these facades that are obviously fake, and then those are just kind of the little bit of reality that gets touched in here. So you're going to have an air conditioning unit, some skylights, things that are very modern, just right behind, almost basically visible, but if you're on the ground level you don't see it. This window is pretty interesting, just trying to combine a lot of different blocks for kind of a grand window here over that little walkway. We're going to throw in a bunch of wooden details, trying to make that wall be less white, and then eventually I kind of settle on just doing the wood paneling as a wall instead of a roof to try and just break up the color. Too much white can look pretty bad because it's a pretty bright white, and there's not a whole lot of details that we can add right now to make it look more like plaster or interesting in any way. So we have a little bit of fountain, some greenery in front just there, which looks pretty cool. It makes it look like a little bit like a courtyard. And we're going to add the wooden paneling around the upper area here, and we'll leave the kind of roof line white though. We'll go ahead and add some windows, adding some trim around the front porch and some tables so people can sit and enjoy their day and time here. Trying to seal up the building so it doesn't look like it's floating anywhere. Some wooden trim, and then we're going to be working on some more window placement and door placement here soon. As soon as I wake up. Hey, get going. Get going. Get going. There we go. I think I was just thinking of what I wanted to do here. I tried sinking in some elements of a chimney into the roof line to try and make some upper windows, but that didn't really turn out well in this case, and at least I didn't like it. And so we're going to try and do some molding work along the roof line, and then on top of the roof this is just all tests. Like, I'm just trying to break up the colors, trying to make things look less blue, because really the blue roof doesn't match much. And so I'm using this marble here to add some type of effect on the upper layer, just to make it look a little bit more unique of a structure. And so we're gonna just go in and add our windows, which always a necessary detail. When you are building a house or something that's lived in, you want to actually have viewpoints in and out from the exterior. A little bit of an access point up here to the roof, so servicemen can get up there and possibly like fix the air conditioning units, things like that. This other structure here, it's going to have a little bit of a balcony, flat roof up there with its own little structure with plenty of wooden trim. We're going to add some marble here around the edge just to try and bulk it up a little bit, give it kind of a better facade than normal, because again, if this is going to be like a mayor's home, that's what you would want to see. And that upper level there, it's not interior, that's all exterior. It's basically a porch or veranda, I guess you could say. I don't really know the proper term off the top of my head on that. And here we're using barrels to try and maybe possibly insinuate some flower baskets hanging off the windows and stuff, which looks pretty cool. And then here I'm trying to make some pillars so that that extra molding that we have up there is actually supported a little bit more properly. And so I end up settling with just these square sections here, which brings in a little bit of white, different color going vertically, which looks pretty cool. We'll add some wooden banisters there just so we can get a touch of wood on the upper level as well. And then an upside down marble fence to kind of create some molding as well. So here, fixing up some things, trying to clean up some areas. There's some little gaps and things that are kind of bugging me, but really there's not much I can do about it. I guess in terms of some blocks, they just don't fit together very well just yet. Some more detailing, wooden trim, things like that. And then at this point, we're going to go ahead and maybe look at some slow pans, and you guys can give your thoughts on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of overview look at the park so far. There's still a whole lot of things we need to do and accomplish to try and fill out the whole area, but right now, I mean, even from up here, everything is starting to come together really nicely. And really, I'm super happy that it's looking this good. You know, this is the first alpha, and Planet Coaster, in my opinion, is just blowing me out of the water. With how much stuff you can do with just these limited assets so far. And so when more things are added, of course, more things are going to get done. So, this is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more creative goodness. Go ahead and hit that like button down below. Go ahead and tell me what you guys think of the villa here. And be excited for next time, because next time we're actually going to be building our next coaster. So that is in the works. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next episode.